Hello everyone, welcome to Pipesim Python Toolkit for beginners. Today I'm going to show you how to install Python Toolkit and validate installation. I have Pipesim version 24.1 and I unpacked the installation kit in this folder. You may see that in this folder there are several guides, and before I start installation I want to highlight some moment which is not mentioned in this guide. Before installation, it's better to make sure that you have no environment in the system related to other Python versions, if of course you have any versions installed on your machine. For this purpose I need go to the Start menu, type environment, open environment variables, and go through all of these variables and make sure there are no variables with link to Python installation. If you have some variables, I recommend you to do the backup of the current configuration and then temporarily remove these variables from the list. It will help you in the future to avoid any possible conflict between your Python version and Python delivered with Pipesim Python Toolkit. Once we finish with validation of Python Toolkit, we can go back and revert everything and configure to be able to run Python Toolkit without any conflict with Python version. So I have no Python installed on my machine, so I'm going just to close this window and go to Generate SDKit folder and run Setup menu. In the window, I want to select Installation Products and then run Python Toolkit installation. You may see such type of welcome screen with request to share admin permissions, or you may see another one screen where you need to enter these admin permissions. Anyway, administrator permissions are needed to successfully install Python Toolkit. Now you can see the welcome screen of Pipesim Python Toolkit. I click Next. I agree with license agreement from SLB, and I'm going to install Python Toolkit in the default installation folder. Of course, you can specify any folder which is preferred for you. On this screen, it's worth mentioning that the option Add Pipesim Python Toolkit to the system path environment variable is deactivated. Of course, you can activate this option, but if you activate it, it means that Pipesim Python Toolkit during the installation will write the new variables in the environment. And then if you have any other Python installed, or if you have several Python Toolkit versions, you may have some type of conflict between of them. So it's better to keep this option unchecked and continue installation with default setup. Now I need to wait several minutes while Pipesim is installing everything on my machine. PTK successfully complete installation. I'm going to click on the Show Details just to make sure that everything is fine, and the installation is finished. Now I need to validate my installation. But before I run everything, I need to make sure that I have all necessary licenses to run Pipesim Python Toolkit. For this purpose, I'm going to open Pipesim window, and in the Workspace tab, I will see the list of the available licenses. So you can see under the license information, I have the list of available licenses, and at the end of this list, I have the Python Toolkit. It means the Python Toolkit license is available for you, and I can continue with validation. As I already mentioned, I have Pipesim 24 installed on my machine in the default installation. In this folder, I have Developer Tools, Python Toolkit, and Examples. Here you may find the list of different examples for Python Toolkit versions. So they can be used, of course, to learn how PTK works, but I prefer to use them for validation. So I'm going to run this connection spy for validation. I'm going to copy first the path to this folder, and then I need to go to the Start menu, scroll down a little bit, and find Python prompt. I click on this icon, and I have the proper Python prompt. When you write Python prompt for Pipesim PTK, conda environment is loaded, and now we have everything to run successfully PTK. So I'm going to move to this folder with examples, and now I'm going just to run the example I prefer. So for instance, I'm going to run example connection spy. So I enter Python connection spy and run. we can see that there is some response from the script. The model case study is opening and connection is establishing, and we should get some results from this script. I don't know exactly what's going on inside this script, but for me, if I get something, it means that it was successfully executed. It means that everything was installed properly. So we can see we have some reports from the script, and of course we can select any other script for validation. I can say that we successfully installed the base installation of Python Toolkit. But if we go back to the installation folder, inside this folder there was a note about the matplotlib library. If we open this text document, we can find that due to the license restrictions, SLB cannot redistribute some Python libraries. But these libraries are used for different examples, and here you may find the list of these examples. So if we want to use all possible examples for validation, we need to install this library as well. For library installation, I need to go to the Start menu again. Then I need to open and find and open the same Python prompt, but this time I'm going to do the right click and open file location. And then I do the right click again, and I'm going to run the same Python prompt but with administrator permission. Administrator permission is needed for me because I want to install the new packages. I'm going to use the conda command to install necessary libraries. So I type conda, then command install, and I need to install matplotlib. So I type matplotlib. And now I'm going to wait the response from the conda, which sends request to server, and the server should get us information what libraries are available, what dependence packages should be downloaded and installed together to support matplotlib properly. As you can see, we have the list of packages should be downloaded to support properly matplotlib. So I agree with everything what I've got from the conda, and I click enter, and conda started downloading process. Now conda downloaded and extracted packages. All packages have been downloaded successfully, so we may conclude that Python Toolkit was installed properly. I want to go back to the installation file, and I want to highlight one moment. If we go to generate SDKit, we can see that there are folders Pipesim, Python Toolkit, and VS Codium. VS Codium is the development environment. It's analog of Visual Studio Code, but can be distributed by other companies. And SLB decided to redistribute it and provide the access to this development environment for you if you have no option to download VS Code from internet. But of course, if you have access to the internet and you can download it, SLB recommends you to download VS Code and use it as the main environment. By default, PTK doesn't install any development environment. So you need to go to the code visualstudio.com, then select appropriate installation package for you, install it, and configure for Python Toolkit. Before we move on to configuration of VS Code, I want to show you one thing which can be useful if you run any examples not from the default folder, but if you copy them to another folder. So let me just copy the same connection spy, and I'm going to copy it to the C drive temporary folder. I will use PTK command prompt to go to ctemp, and then I'm going to run the same example, Python connections. And you can see that Python reports me the following message: the script has been terminated because utilities file is missed. So this file is placed inside the examples. So I go back to the folder with examples, and if I try to find utilities, this file is there. This file is used to get access from the PTK code to the case study Pipesim models to simplify model management for Python Toolkit examples.